All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
With the Hebrew Israelites back again with another lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Before we begin this lesson, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Bashem Rakah. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles, great Mustang. We're not officially a part of their camp, but we recognize them through the Holy Spirit as the real prophets that the Lord has sent in these end times to show us the correct way to salvation. Show double honors to the elders and apostles, great Mustang. Shalom to you, Akwaf in order. Shalom to you, Israelites on the highways and hedges, giving up your bodies a living sacrifice. And shalom to you, Israelites scattered abroad that made it like these other nations, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom. Right. So there's a lot happening right now, and it's kind of hard to keep up with, man. I mean, prophecy just jumping off the page at the moment, man. So we're going to speak. We got a few clips we're going to bring out in this lesson. We got a few things we want to speak on. We're doing an indoor lesson today as the weather's not in our favor. It's very unpredictable and it's extremely windy out there. Plus, the things we're going into, it's better if we bring out, you know, these clips to sort of help the lesson. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot going on social media. People being that we're on the cusp of Jacob's trouble, man. And you ain't seen nothing yet. After you see these clips and what's taking place in the world, just understand that this don't even touch the surface as to what's coming, man. This is why, you know, it's very important to repent and, you know, get yourself right with the Lord who's bringing these plagues before it's too late, man. Okay. So, trying to think where we're going to start first. Right. First, we'll speak about N-dub, right? N-dub, dub meaning W. So N-dub means nigger woman. But she's catching hell right now, right? Trump's passing all these laws and stuff to make their life hard. So we're gonna show you a few things. Let's add me to the stage. All right, so we'll start with this one, and then we're gonna speak on it. All right, check this out.
That bill is passed. Over $900 billion in Medicaid cuts. SNAP is being cut. Student loans, Pell Grants, harder to get. ICE is about to be the biggest law enforcement group in the country. There's $100 billion going to the defense, and the 1% is about to live their best life like they've been doing this whole time. Hospitals are about to start shutting down, which some of them have already prepared to start shutting down. It's going to be harder for a lot of people now. A lot of people are about to die, and that's not even a joke. And it makes me sad because a lot of y'all MAGA people, y'all voted for this man because he was a white man, and he had how many felonies and how many failed businesses, but it didn't matter because I would rather vote for the white man who has no experience and is not here for the whole American body than vote for a black woman who's had the experience her whole life and actually wanted us to do better.
So you can clearly see how confused people are, you know what I mean, actually thinking that their vote mattered, like it made a difference who got in office. You know, it was prophecy, according to fulfill prophecy. You know, the will of the Lord is that he had Donald Trump in office. But if it was the will of the Lord to have Kamala in office, the same agenda is going to apply, man. Prophecy is still going to play out. Okay. So for one to think that your vote actually mattered, it just shows where your head is at, your level of understanding, you know what I mean? Or lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? And you know, voting for either one of these devils they put in your face, whether it be a woman, which this is what the women wanted. They wanted a woman in office, and they thought she was a so-called black woman, so that made it them even more want her in office. But since they didn't get their way, they feel in some type of way, feeling like they were done wrong, and this is the reason all this is happening. This is why it's very important to get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Holy Bible in order for you to be stable in these times, because scriptures say, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our times, man. This lady ain't got no wisdom or knowledge because she's still thinking of vote matters, and look at the state of her. You know what I mean? She's heavily invested in this place, and now this system she trusted in is kicking her ass right now, man.
Want it better for America and for all the Republicans, y'all spineless POSs. Y'all, I hope y'all get unseated. I really do. But for everybody else, we tried. We did the best we could. Primaries is what's next. I'm taking a break. I need a break from this over again. When Republicans were saying that, Project 2025 isn't real. It's not real. It doesn't exist. And then turn around, and after he won, it's real. And now they're saying, we are touching Medicaid. Now they admit it after they passed the bill. So y'all dummies, y'all fell for it again. Congratulations, y'all screwed all of America.
You see what we're saying, She lacks understanding, man. But it's a beautiful thing seeing women like her suffer. Because, prior to this lesson, I was showing my brother this, and he said that he's seen her before and that she's a big time feminist. I've never seen her. This is the first time I've ever seen her, shockingly.
Yeah, when she does a lot of her content is centered around the downfall of men. So to give you an example, when Tory Lanez and the Megan Thee Stallion situation was going on, she was more so towards the fact that Megan Thee Stallion was in the right and Tory Lanez deserved to go to jail, or other social media celebrities, whatever, going through their disagreements, whatever, like parental custody, whatever the case may be. She always sides more so towards the woman's side and hearing the woman's side. You know what I mean? I think the brick lady. Remember the brick lady?
Oh,
she was all these men standing around doing. Yeah, she's one of them, right? So now she's in tears. That kind of, I mean, hey, the scriptures do say. As a matter of fact, let me just bring this up quickly.
Should we pull it up on here?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just so
Isaiah 32.
Everyone can see them. Yeah, actually keep that there. Isaiah 32.
Yeah.
And 2, yeah?
No, 9.
Oh, Isaiah 32 and 9.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, kind of. Where is it? Isaiah 32. Come on. It's being slow.
Yeah. So this is Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." Right? And a woman, obviously, she was talking about how it would have been better if Kamala Harris was in office because she's got more experience. But what this woman doesn't understand is that they're both the same devils of the same coin. You know what I mean? So Kamala would have got into office, then who's to say it wouldn't be any worse? You know what I mean? Like they do the exact same thing, right? But it would just be in a sort of feminist standpoint, as opposed to you got your Trump. I think what she'd probably classify as misogynistic government now. You know what I mean? But I keep reading. It says Isaiah 32 and 9. "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech." Verse 10 says, "Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women." Now, she's said herself that she wants to take a break from the app. Like it's going to do any help. Like, and we got the primaries. Like, that's going to make any difference? It ain't going to make no difference, because it's just going to get worse. This is prophecy that she's thinking that people can overturn. Like, if we just get Trump out of the office, that'll be the silver lining. We can fix everything. No, this is the Lord's movie. The Lord's about to bring judgment to this place, right? So, Lord willing, through this lesson, we can show you that, right? So I'll read again, verse 10. It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." Is there any more in that? Verse 11 says, "Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." Right? So, that you can touch a lot of things with this scripture. But the first part is what I really wanted to focus on, is rise up, you women that are at ease, right? Because this woman's, talking like there's something she's going to be able to do to resolve the issue. But just to get back on topic, this is where we are right now in prophecy. You see all these things happening, right? I don't know if you
And it's affecting these women that are at ease, man, that are comfortable, because women, they don't really they lack the wisdom to really foresee the evil and hide themselves. You know what I mean? You do have some out there that are on the case, and you know what I mean, they're sounding the alarm, making little TikTok videos telling the latest and what's going on and this and that. But it's mostly men doing it. And women like to be comfortable, and things that make them uncomfortable, whether it's something they have to deal with in the future, they still kind of want to not talk about that. They don't want to focus on the negative stuff. You know what I mean? They want to be comfortable, man. But they're going to be forced to be uncomfortable in the very near future. That's why the Lord is pre-warning them through his prophets, his men, to rise up, you women that are at ease, man. Good sackcloth upon your loins, man. Basically, you should be in a state of mourning, man. A sackcloth is something kind of like what we're wearing, because we're in the house of mourning, which means that we're prophesying, and this just represents us being in the house of mourning, not the house of mirth right now. We're not out there having fun in the world, and that's what the Lord is saying to you women, man. It's time to get serious, man. It's time to prepare to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Recognize the time you're living in, man, because it's only gonna get worse.
That's right.
But I got something I want to bring out on that too. So this is the book of Sirach. So if we go here, it's Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25 and verse 7, right? Sirach 25 and 7, it says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy." Now, ultimately, this is talking about Esau, Edom, but the 2/3 are our enemy too, right? Those that hate our Lord, right? The very ones that said crucify him. So when we see all these bad things happen to people, they weren't innocent. So Lord willing, we'll bring that precept out in Job in a minute too. But these people aren't innocent, and it's a good thing to see them receive their judgment, man, as well as the end up. Okay, the nigger woman, man. Okay, and we call her that because that's what she is, man. A nigger. You know what I mean? We don't look at them as feminine, beautiful, delicate women anymore. Okay, these women in this society are through. This is hence the reason why we're at the end, because wickedness is at an all-time high. The love of many is waxed cold, gross darkness upon the people, and the woman is totally juiced in with the spirit of feminism, man. You know what I mean? So she is our enemy. And then what does it say here? It says, just as much as basically watching your child grow, how joyful of a thing that is for a man to see. It's also joyful for us to see the fall of our enemies being these women, man. And I ain't talking about all you women. You should know that. You that are in order, you already know the deal, man. Okay, we ain't talking about you. You're that rare exception, right? But these women of the world that deny our Lord, they deny this truth, right? They scoff, they're proud, arrogant, they hate men. Hey, man, this is what we've been waiting for. You know, our patience is paying off because now we're getting ready to see them squirm and suffer and them do a 180 on that spirit of feminism. Now they're gonna be in the kitchen. Now they're gonna be wishing that they had a man to protect them. The Lord is about to do a wonder on these proud women, man. And we knew this day was coming. So we were just sitting back and letting them talk their shit, knowing that one day they're going to have to eat them very words, man. And now you're seeing it. So we have no remorse when we see these things happen to these women because they had it coming. The scriptures say no man perishes being innocent. Do you know which scripture that is? I know it's in Job.
Yeah.
I could probably quickly pull it up. Perish in no sense. It's in the book of Job.
Page 22. Chapter 22.
How's it not coming up? Did I spell it right? Perish. Oh, I think I didn't spell it right. Let me see. So lucky, bear with us. It's like this when you don't remember scriptures, you know. So this keyboard is crap. Sometimes you type and certain keys don't come up. Here we go. Job 4 and 7. That's it. Should know this by now. Anyway, this is Job chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" So the righteous are never cut off, right? And if you perished, you wasn't innocent. Which, you know, a lot of these women are getting ready to perish because of, you know, these policies that Trump, Nero, that cruel Lord is putting in place, man. You know what I mean? He's slashing this, slashing that. Just like my brother brought out in the book of Isaiah, where it talks about the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. This is part of that clip that we just showed you is part of that, where certain benefits are being slashed and, you know, all these things that make women proud and lofty, it's being taken away from them. The Lord is stripping that pride. The Lord said he would bring low the pride of men. You know what I mean? Roughly paraphrasing. He said he would do that, and that was happening, man. And part of the reason that a lot of this is happening is because you people are proud, right? It says in 2 Measures 8 and 50, it says, "Time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride." So all of these miseries and this suffering, you know, people perishing, all these things that are happening in the world right now is because the world is full of pride, man. You can't tell them nothing, especially these women, man. Okay. So, you know, hey, it's a joyful thing for us to see the fall of our enemies, you know. And for those that don't think the woman is our enemy, hey, let's pull that one up too.
Micah 7 and 10.
Yeah, that's it. Micah 7 and 10. Let's see. That's it. Micah 7. All right. You got to read between the lines what the Lord is saying. He's calling the woman our enemy on this side, okay? Because they're all fully juiced in and invested in feminism. and they think that men aren't important. They don't understand the value of a man, and they cringe at the thought of a man having more than one woman, which they're gonna have to eat that, man. They're gonna have to live with that. That's gonna be a part of the kingdom of heaven, and they're gonna be happy to be one of many wives to one man, right? They're gonna be happy to be sister wives, because the Lord is getting ready to do a 180 on them, and that starts in the very near future, and it's gonna continue through in the kingdom of heaven, man. These women are gonna get in order by force, right? So it says in Micah 7:10, then she that is mine enemy shall see it. See what? See the prophecies taking place that we've been talking about. See the Lord return, right? So everything that we've been saying, they're going to see it come to pass. When we say that men are going to have more than one wife, when we say that women are going to be in order, that women are about to catch hell, they're going to be judged on a high level, and the Lord's going to lay low their haughtiness, their pride. They didn't believe it, right? Because they're still scoffing. Where are they? With this message that we've been pouring out over the years, screaming from the rooftops that these things are coming, where's the large congregation of women repenting, man? Saying that you're right, I need to get right. Where are they? It's a very, very small number, man. And it's the women that follow Great Millstone, because these women that follow these other camps thinking that they're in order, they don't matter about the shalawams and the head wraps. You know, that's all. That's putting makeup on a turd, man. You know what I mean? You're still disgusting on the inside. You know, all these people following IUIC and them, man, they ain't in order. So the Lord ain't dealing with them. It says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Mire is like filth, swampiness, shit, basically, right? So this is how she's going to be trodden down, like she's nothing in the streets. The ones that scoffed and said, where is the Lord thy power, right? Where is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, they say. You know, you've been saying this for years. Where's all these things you've been saying is going to happen? Hey, so basically that she's an unbeliever, and you know, all unfaithful are going to die in their unfaithfulness, man. So the Lord is saying that she's our enemy on this side, man. Okay. And I ain't talking about you women that are in order. Okay. You're a rare exception. But most of these women in the world, the Bible don't have a lot good to say about women, man. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. Shame shall cover her, right? Because she's finally going to realize when shit hits the fan and it's on her doorstep, then she's going to take that gulp, you know, and then she's going to be like, oh, shit, should have listened, right? Where is Yahweh thy power? My eyes shall behold her, right? So these women, these proud women, we're going to see them. We're going to see their judgment. It says, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. She's going to be out there selling ass, getting ravished by different men, passed around. She's going to watch her children suffer. She's going to have no protector. She's going to be out there among wolves like a like a gazelle or something, just out in the open, defenseless, getting chased down, right? So yeah, man. Anyway, this whole lesson ain't about Eve, man. We got a few things we wanted to go into. I think that's it for Eve. We're only just touching the surface. There's a lot going on, but most of this lesson is involving this alligator Alcatraz situation, right? Now, there's a couple things that have come out that have really, because Esau is basically ramping up his deportation agenda, showing that, this man is coming down, having great wrath, just as we've been bringing out in Revelations 12:12. Lord willing, we'll grab that in a sec too, man. But I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll play this real quick, right? Because you all by now should know what alligator Alcatraz is. but there's a few things that are kind of surfaced as of late to show you how much of a devil Esau really is. For all of you that's trying to save the so-called white man, you're gonna learn the hard way that he was always the damn devil. Okay, hence the reason, for the title of my lesson, the devil is showing his horns, man. He's showing you that he's the devil. Check this out.
I just want everyone to know that there's official Alligator Alcatraz merch. There it is, provided to us by the state of Florida. In fact, this drip, look at that.
That was a right-wing influencer who was flown out to Alligator Alcatraz to film it wearing Alligator Alcatraz merch. That is right. The U.S. government, Florida in particular, is creating merch to sell on behalf of Alligator Alcatraz. You can see he is very happy, jovial, smiling, and laughing about it. This whole entire Republican Party's take on Alligator Alcatraz is void of any humanity. Here we have Laura Loomer stating things like, Alligator Alcatraz feeding illegals to the gators. We need more of this energy. Alligator lives matter. The good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if we get started now. This is the Republican Party. These are the people who claim to have Christ. While these cages are being built, this is Alligator Alcatraz, the inside. They're building these cages to house migrants. Meanwhile, conservatives just laugh about it and sport merch. This is the Jesus crowd, guys. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Now, the reason I wanted to play this particular video is just to show you how giddy and happy these devils are about the idea of, us as in Israelites being in detention centers surrounded by alligators and pythons or whatever the hell they said. They said they had snakes too. But they're making merchandise, and he's all giddy and happy about it, talking about check out my drip and all that, right? And this carpet muncher up here, she broke it down nicely, but she's part of the wicked too. That need if she's a Jate, she's part of the 2/3 that need to be purged also. But I ain't gonna knock the messenger. She's bringing out information, so it is what it is. But she's talking about this is the Jesus crew, right? Because she's lumping all people that believe in the Bible in together, as in, this is what we believe in, and this is what we love, and this and that, right? So she's trying to make out like we're just hateful people that subscribe to the Bible, man, when she says things like that, right? This is what her mind is at. So she can get it too in Jacob's trouble. Both of these demons here are our enemies, man. But you could see, let me play it one more time just so you watch this guy, man, just how excited he is about the merchandise, which is basically them making a mockery of us, man, because they used to have our children as alligator bait, right? And they want us to forget about that, but they used to celebrate that. They would pass around gifts and souvenirs with alligators eating little so-called black children as like it was a joke. But it's all good, Esau, man. You're gonna get double, man. And we can't wait for that day, us that are in the right spirit. We can't wait till the Lord rains judgment upon these people, man. But check this out. I'm gonna play it. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. I'm just play the part where this devil down here is talking. But check out how giddy and happy he is, his expressions when he's talking about the merchandise, man. The mockery that they're making of us, man. Devil.
I just want everyone to know that there's official Alligator Alcatraz merch. There it is, provided to us by the state of Florida. Incredible. And yeah, would you rock this drip? Look at that.
That was a right-wing influencer who was flown out to Alligator.
Yeah, don't rock that drip in the wrong part of town, Esau. All right, you get your cap peeled back, man. Right? Because that's a highly offensive. Might as well walk around with a shirt with the N word with a strong ER on it, right? Because it's a slap in the face to us, man. You know, the inhumane treatment that how you've been treating our people, and you're out making merchandise. But you know, that's just how Esau gets down, right? He's always been that way because the Bible says that this devil has a perpetual hatred for us, right? Let's read it here in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, starting at 5. So it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Now, this is the Lord talking to the so-called white man, right? Esau, Edom. That's their biblical nationality, the Edomites. So this is the Lord and what he's saying to them. He's saying that they have a perpetual hatred. Perpetual means never ending, everlasting. So basically, it don't matter how much you shuck and jive, you straighten your hair, bleach your skin, put on a suit and tie, try to talk like them, entertain them, make them comfortable. It don't matter what you do, man. You always, you know, like the words of Jay-Z, still nigga, man. All right? That's how they look at you. You're always going to be lower than them in their eyes, man, when the Bible says we're way above them. Way above them. Anyway, Ezekiel 35 and 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, right? So because of you being a damn devil toward our people, right? And then acting like we ain't oppressed, you ain't done nothing wrong. Devils, man. It says, therefore, as I live. So the Lord lives forever, man. He's omnipotent, right? So this is forever. This is set in stone. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, right? The one you claim you believe in when you go to your Christian church and open up that Bible and sing all them songs to that hippie of yours, right? Serge Bourget. Hey, the God of the Bible has said this. He says, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. It says, sith, meaning since thou hast not hated blood, because you are a bloodthirsty nation of people, your track record more than proves that. It says, even blood shall pursue thee. So, prepare for slaughter, man. Okay, because of your perpetual hatred for the brown people you hate so much, man, which is the so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans, and the so-called African Americans, man, and the Haitians, you know, all the other tribes, but those are the main three that Esau likes to try and focus on, right? The so-called blacks, Latino, and Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Esau has a perpetual hatred, and it's all out in the open now. That's why, you know, the title of this lesson is Esau, the devil showing his horns, because he's letting the whole world know what he feels about the Israelites or anyone with melanin in their skin at that. He don't even like the Africans or the East Indians, man. But he definitely hates you tribes, man. But you know, our people still want to love on this man and treat him as if he's our brother, he's our friend, he's our equal. Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, right, so-called white man, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity. And that's what they're still doing to this day. If you haven't peeped, you know, all this going on with ICE, you know what I mean? Chasing down the Latin tribes, the so-called Mexicans, you know, these Latinos, so-called Latinos, man. Look what it's open for the whole world to see. You know what I mean? But they're steady, you know, fly over so-called white South African men that are apparently oppressed, right? They'll fly them over and give them accommodation and all that, treat them with kindness. But when people want to come from Venezuela and Mexico or whatever, Guatemala, right, to try and seek some kind of refuge in America. I don't know why they would anyway, but hey, it must be really bad over there because Esau then created very messed up conditions in their country. So they're fleeing the condition that this devil made, right, to seek a better life. And, you know, this is how he treats them, puts them in alligator Alcatraz. Why ain't he doing that to people coming from South Africa trying to seek refuge here? Why ain't he doing that to them? Why ain't he doing that to the Ukrainians, right? Because, hey, these people ain't got no damn melanin in their skin, and that's how they want the world. They want it. They want to make America white again, right? It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So your judgment is set in stone." It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, forever. And he kept his wrath forever. So they've always hated us because of the birthright, man. Because Esau got supplanted by Jacob for the birthright, man. And he's still butthurt and bitter about that. But there's nothing he can do about it, because at the end of the day, it don't matter about all this that he's doing. Our people are all going to be saved. You know, not the first time around. You know, the 2/3 gonna have to go through the, you know, through the fire first. But you know, all our people are gonna live good in the kingdom of heaven, the new earth. Okay, Earth 2.0, a new and improved, better version of this shithole that Esau's made. Esau's turned this world into an unbearable place to live, man. Turn this place into a ghetto, right? Because it's just a reflection of his nature, his character, his heart's condition, man. That's why there's trash and homeless people everywhere, and everything's polluted, because this man's a damn nigga. So anyway, did you wanna?
I do want to read the comments because there's some on the comment board.
Oh yeah. Hey, Shalom, GMS in his likeness.
Hey, Shalom. Yeah, how about you?
Happy King.
That's right.
That's right. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna read some of these. I don't think the brother's watching at the moment. It says there's nobody watching. Well, actually, let's remove that thing. That'll make it better. There we go. Right. So Proverbs 16:4, it says, Yahweh have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. And that is a beautiful precept, because right now we're in the day of evil, man. A time period where, you know, wickedness is about to increase tenfold, man. Let's quickly prove that. Is it 5? Second Ezra is 5. Yeah. Second Ezra is 5:1, right? I'm gonna read through 2. Oh, actually, I need to share my screen quick, don't I? Let's do this. Right? Because you know, this is the day of evil, right? And this is what the wicked was created for, is this time that we're living in now, right? But check this out, man. Second Ezra 5:1, it says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens is the prophecies, it says, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken, meaning judged and put to death, in a great number. Okay. And the way of truth shall be hidden, meaning this gospel. Okay. The true gospel is going to be hidden from you, because the Lord said he's going to shut us up. He's going to make our tongue cleave to the roof of our mouth. People are going to run to and fro to seek the men of the Lord, and they're not going to be able to find it, right? In Amos 8:11, right? So it says, the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So there's going to be nobody ain't going to have no faith in some, like Noah Yuval Harari says, some God in the sky, right? They ain't gonna, that's how they're gonna think. They're gonna think no one's there when they see all the judgment that's coming, man. The land is gonna be desolate of faith. verse 2 is the point, right? Second Ezra 5 and 2. It says, but iniquity, which is sin upon sin, shall be increased above that which thou now seest, right? So all the wickedness that we're seeing going on in the world right now, it says that iniquity is going to be increased above that we now see. It says, or that thou hast heard long ago. So all the atrocities that you could think of that have happened to people in the world in the past, you got the so-called Holocaust, right? You've got the King Leopold when he went to Congo, cutting off little children's hands because they didn't make their quota of rubber, getting in rubber and tin, right? You've got the siege of Jerusalem, 70 AD. They were cutting Jake's belly open because they found out that Jake was swallowing gold coins. So they were like, they got gold coins in their belly. Let's just chop them open, right? So all these, our people being thrown overboard on the slave ships, man, all these things that have happened are really bad. But it says that it's going to be worse. Iniquity is going to be increased above that which we see and that we have heard long ago, right? So this is the time we're coming into. This is why it's beautiful that the brother GMS in his likeness posted this precept here. He says in Proverbs 16:4, it says, the Lord hath made all things for himself, yeah, even the wicked, for the day of evil. So this is the reason why they were created. It wasn't to dwell in harmony, peace and love, and hold hand and be hand in hand with us forever. Okay. Even though a lot of our people are lost, Stockholm syndrome at its finest, trying to befriend these people, right? But this is what Christianity does. It makes you passive and docile, man. This is why we try to break them strongholds with this gospel, man. So verse 5, Proverbs 16:5, it says, everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh. It says, though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. See? So basically, hand join, like I just said. See, I didn't even realize this was the next verse, man. But I was just saying now, our people join hand in hand with this devil, thinking that he's going to have some kind of change of heart, man. Don't be fooled, man. Same old devil. He ain't going to change. He has a perpetual hatred. Okay, that means his hatred for you is never going to end. So everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh. It says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be, he shall not be unpunished. See? Isaiah 42:22, it says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled, our people, right? It says they are all all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses, right? Which is talking about them churches, man. The Christian church, it's got our people captive. Our people's minds are captive in the Christian church. So, our people are robbed and spoiled. And, you can equate it spiritually to the fact that our people are locked up, are the biggest, highest number of people in the prison system, man. If you look at the demographic of the inmates, you'll see that it's so-called blacks and Latinos mainly, man. And a few Native American, but, mainly so-called blacks and Latinos. It says they are for a prey and none delivereth. It says for a spoil and none saith restore. Because everybody hates us, man. The whole world shakes their head at us. They clap their hands, hiss, wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, which is us, showing that we fit the prophecies, man. They don't fit these small hats in our land right now, claiming to be us. Those fake JEWs, they don't fit the prophecies, man. Job 9:22, it says, this is one thing, therefore I said it, he destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. It says, Job 9:23, it says, if the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. That's right. That's right. So the Lord is, he's in control of destroying the perfect and the wicked. Whether you do, it don't matter whether you're a good person or a bad person in this world. You can all get that judgment, man, in the world's eyes. If the world sees you as a good person, it don't matter, man. You're all gonna catch that smoke soon, man. Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? So who is controlling the earth right now, man? Who has the ability to put a central bank in your country, spray the sky with chemtrails, set up a military base in your country? Who has the ability to do that? Who has the ability to lock down the whole planet and say there's a pandemic, man? And lock the whole planet down. Who is it? The Chinese man that does that? Is it the East Indian man? No, it's the nation. It's the biblical nation of Edom, right? Because they're the ones ruling the world right now. That's why it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Those fake JEWs that run everything. The Bible is calling them the wicked, man. That's the prophecy they fit. They don't fit the prophecy of being the children of the Lord at all. So the earth is given into the hand of these devils. They covered the faces of the judges, right? Yahushai painted him out to be a pasty homosexual. And then you got the prophets. They're making out like they're so-called white people. You look at go on Google Images and type up King David, and you'll see this pasty cracker, right? They got him as the, because they covered the faces of the true judges of this world, man, through iconoclasm, right? During the Renaissance era. It says judges, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if this man ain't the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, then who is? Proverbs 15:3, it says, the eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the good, evil, and the good, right? So the Lord sees what you devils are doing in the secret, right? Because you do a lot of wickedness in secret, right? Let's quickly back that up with a precept. In the book of Psalms, chapter 10, starting at 8, it says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, right? So Esau being his cruiser, his cop car, like a street shark, right? Sitting in the cut, waiting for Jake to slip up, man. They might plant a bike out there in the open, not chained up, so that somebody that's going to come take it, because they know eventually someone's going to do that, which I'm not condoning that, but that's entrapment, man. This is how these devils do, man. They'll set you up. So they're sitting in the cut, right, in the lurking places of the villages. It says, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent, And I just did a lesson. I'm working on it on my phone right now. It's already done, but I need to tweak a few things about how they're throwing shackled up so-called illegals out the back of cargo planes in the oceans for sharks to eat. That's them murdering us in the secret places, man. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. So they're going out into the middle of the ocean, and the tracking system for the airplanes is showing that they're going out into the middle of the ocean. Then they're turning back. Like that ain't dropping them off. So what are they doing? And then all of a sudden you got people washing up ashore, shackled, and they're trying to blame it on illegals trying to come over and their boat capsized or something. And they said, what, shackled? Come on, man. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. It says his eyes are privily set against the poor. So they don't come out in the open and just say, yeah, we don't like you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We want to get you off the planet. No, their eyes are privily privately set against you tribes, you Jakes. They hate you in secret. They try to play like they like you, like they love you, like they just want to do what's best for you. Right? You ain't oppressed. You got the same opportunity, they say, but their eyes are privily set against you. They're keeping you from ever being on an equal level with them, man. They set up all kinds of systems to make sure that you never rise above them. Their eyes are privily set against the poor, man. It says in Psalms 10 and 9, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth them into his net. See? So let's go back to the brother's precepts. It says, the eyes of Yahweh in every place, beholding the evil and the good. So the Lord sees you, devils, man, and what you're doing and planning for Jake behind the scenes. Yeah, Shalom, bro. Shalom.
Fire precepts, man.
Yeah, good precepts. I'm always humble to be a part. I'm here. Oh, okay. Okay. It says, because earlier I said that you probably wasn't here anymore because it shows that nobody's watching. But it's all good because we know that, people do tune in later to this video because it will be up there regardless of if there's no viewers right now. And we ain't been doing lives too long, so we don't have a large following when it comes to our lives, large audience. I think the most we've ever had in one go is like six viewers. But it's not about that. It's just about bringing out this gospel to whoever, the Lord lets come across it. But yeah, man, good to see you still tuned in. And it's good to see you here, bro. Right.
Before we move on, I just wanted to bring out some precepts on that.
Yeah, should I add it to the stage?
Yeah, add it to the stage.
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah. So, when you were showing that clip about that Edomite showing off the merch.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you the pride of these devils. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, and you had Jake on there laughing at something that the Edomites were going through, they would be up in arms. Right?
Exactly.
And this is how we know that Esau Edom is the so-called white man, right? Now, when you look at the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, 6 verse 9, it tells us here, right? It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So we know that the Israelites are next in line, right? We know that the Edomites are going to be at the end of the earth, and that's who's in rulership right now, because you brought out or you mentioned about the people that are in charge at the moment, the ones that cover the faces of the judges thereof. They're in the rulership seat right now, right?
Which is Esau.
Which is Esau. And it says, "And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, but predominantly in the Americas, we're up next. And Esau don't want us to have that blessing. It goes back to the time when, in the book of Genesis, when Jacob received the blessing from Isaac, and Esau was weeping, he was crying about it, and now he thinks that he's found some sort of loophole that allows him to climb back into that seat. He's going to try and get it back, however but the Lord's going to put an end to that, right? Now, what I wanted to, the other precept that I wanted to bring out is in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, which verse is it? Verse 8, right? So in this verse here, right, it says, "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by the sea, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." And this is why Esau Edom is it's on his spirit. The Lord's put the spirit on this devil to put out unrighteous dealings, like changing all these laws, saying, all these immigrants need to get out of the country now. Injuries, alligator, Alcatraz, riches got by the sea, the madness that they've done in all these other countries that has caused these immigrants to flee to America for a better life. they don't tell you about the fact that they went into those countries beforehand to destabilize the economy so they could get richer.
And stole their resources.
Stole their resources, exactly. You know, this is what Esau Edom does. So it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So it's going from Esau to Jacob, just as we read in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6.
So these peckerwoods that rule the earth right now, you're getting ready to see the Lord do a 180.
That's
next
right.
week. The so-called, the ones that have been mistreated, hunted, put in alligator Alcatraz and all that, we're going to be in riches and glory with crowns of victory on our heads, Lord willing. You know what I mean? And Esau's going to be in a lower place than he was when he was back in the caves, man. He's about to be. The world's going to look at him upon him and say, "Is this the man that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness?"
That's right.
This guy, they ain't going to be able to believe that this man was ruling the earth at one point, because really he was never meant to. It's just the Lord set him up to punish us. That's what that was all about. Okay.
Just like how he hardened Pharaoh's heart in Egypt when he wouldn't let the Lord's people go. You know, he's doing that to the same, you know, the spiritual Egypt, you know, which is America. The leaders, Donald Trump and all them, you know, elites, and then the small hatters, the 1948ers. Yeah, you're about to get your judgment, man. And this is why we're seeing the build-up of all these events taking place in the earth, man. We're seeing the Lord getting ready to hey, this is the best bit of the movie. You know, he's sitting there like that Michael Jackson meme, eating his popcorn, like this is the best bit. You know, this is where it gets good. You know, we're about to see Esau's destruction, man, the fall of our enemies.
That's it. Yeah, man, because he's gonna fall hard too, and he's pissed off about that, man. Hence the reason why all these things are happening, and it lines up. Because let me read this here first one more time, and then I'm gonna switch to a precept, man, showing you that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible's talking about, right? Because it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, which you could check his track record. He fits all of this, right? The thief cometh not but for to steal, kill, and destroy, and that's what he's done it marvelously. He's played his role excellently, man. It says the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So because this man is a damn bastard and a cancer of the earth, the Lord's gonna put the can fix this freak show up, man, and make things right. So a precept to that is in Revelations 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens. That's talking about us in this truth, man. This is the time for us to be rejoicing at the downfall of our enemies, man. So if you're not in the spirit of wanting to see these devils suffer and squirm, right, you're in the wrong spirit, and Christianity will do that to you, have you feeling sorry for them, hugging them in the courtroom. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens. So rejoice. It says, and ye that dwell in them. So us in a congregation of the living, man. It says, woe, death, and destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, meaning you people of the world, you masses, right? When you go into the sea, it means masses, the masses of people, man, the sea of people. It says, for the devil, right, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, right, starting with these elites, right? It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. His kingdom is coming to an end. The Lord's getting ready to translate it from them to us. So he's trying to take down as many of us as he can with him, because he knows that he's going down. He knows what time it is when he sees the prophets rising up and proclaiming his downfall, man, the downfall of his kingdom. He knows what time it is, man. So he's coming out with alligator Alcatraz, and you know, this whole thing about the migrants was a well thought out plan. They put Biden in office as the fall guy, the bumbling idiot that don't know what he's doing, right? So he can take the rap. Let all these immigrants in the country, but the whole system, two horns that spake as the two horns like a lamb. It's all part of the same, you know, the right, the left. It's all part of the same system, man. But they all were in agreement to let these immigrants in so that they can hunt them down later, because Esau gets a kick out of doing that. Just like these elite parties, right? These elites, they have these parties where they'll kidnap people, blindfold them, and then they'll unblindfold them in the middle of the woods, right? And then they'll set them off, let them run, let them get a head start thinking they're going to escape. When they don't know where they're at, they don't know how to escape. They're just running. And then they'll sick the dogs on them, or they'll go out with bow and arrow and some kind of freaky Baphomet outfit on or whatever, and they'll chase them down and then slaughter them, grate them, do all kinds of things. And this is the same spirit he's coming in with them migrants, man, so-called immigrants, right? Because he let them all into the country so that he can hunt them down later, man, because he gets a kick out of that. He gets a kick out of making our life as miserable as possible, right?
Esau's a cunning hunter, man.
And he's a cunning hunter, exactly. It's one of Esau's characteristics, man. You know? So, hey, what's happening, man? Let's bring out a few more things and then we'll wrap it up, because we got a couple more clips to show you, right? So ICE is heavily funded. All this this program where Esau is hunting down Jake, is heavily funded, man.
Did you play that one?
Huh?
Did you play that one?
No, yeah, I'm gonna play that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that after. Yeah, but I want to show you how much of an investment they've put into this, right? And then we're gonna show you a few more things.
I'm gonna look at you like I got color contacts in, but when I say this, I want you to hear me. ICE just got $170 billion from this bill, and that's kind of crazy, because you know what they got before? 8. That's more than Japan, Poland, Sweden, even Germany combined. Oh my fucking God.
Are you starting to see what we're saying? This is very important to Esau. Why is he investing so much in this? Because for one, they don't want to see them be the minority and brown people taking over their habitation, their so-called land, right? They don't want to feel what it. They don't want to feel what they've dished out to the world, where they go and invade people's country, and then call the natives of that land immigrants, right? Now they don't want the same thing happening to them, where brown people come to their country and then make them the minority, and you know what I mean? They want to dish out wickedness, but they don't want to feel the same thing they dish out, man. Devils, man. So Esau is heavily invested into this ICE thing, man, this ICE program. So much so that, check this out, it speaks for itself. Check this out, man. You ain't gonna believe it. I came across this today, but it just shows you that the wicked was created for the day of evil, man. And this is where they're really showing their horns, man. Check this out.
Just in case you don't know what's going on, a girl on TikTok came on here and said that one of her neighbors received a government contract.
It's lucky it's kind of quiet. Let me see if there's any way I can turn that up. Probably not. No. You have to forgive me for that, because you might want to turn the volume up for this clip. But yeah, because this one's coming out kind of quiet. But I'm gonna run it back and play it. Check this out, man. You ain't gonna believe this.
Just in case you don't know what's going on, a girl on TikTok came on here and said that one of her neighbors received a government contract asking them to install a bunch of incinerators at Alligator Alcatraz. They're installing incinerators at Alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz is on indigenous land. It's like protected land. 2, there are migrants. There's people being washed ashore with shackles on. People are finding people on beaches wearing shackles. This is the level that we're at. There's another girl on TikTok who is tracking flights, government flights, or like leaving detention centers, and they are just going out into the ocean and then turning around, making it to their destinations. 2 + 2 does not equal 4. You understand what's going on right now. There's another guy on TikTok who said that he got pulled over by the cops. He's an American citizen. He just happened to have a Spanish last name. And they went and they looked through his information. They were like, we can't find you in any system. He's like, huh? He had like several IDs because he lived in a couple of different states. He was like, well, I have this ID. Oh, you can thank your friend's eyes. So they're taking people, American citizens. He's white, by the way. He just had a Spanish last name. They're taking people who have American nationals who have Spanish last names, removing them from databases so that when they get pulled over by cops and people like that, they go, oh, you're not in the system. You're an illegal immigrant. You're an illegal alien. They can detain them. Do you understand what's going on right now?
So what's going on right now is we're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, man, and it's only going to get worse. Why else would they invest in these incinerators? And they look quite cheap, you know, like something. You see what I'm saying? This man apparently 6 million JEWs, fake so-called JEWs, right? Were burned in ovens. Now they want to do the same thing, right? See what I mean? This man is a hypocritical devil, okay? And there's no end to his wickedness, man. There's no cap on his wickedness, man. So they've got these incinerators now, hot boxes, which they plan to put Jake in them things because they've got them shipped to Alligator Alcatraz. Why would they need these Alligator Alcatraz, man? You know. Hey, some of us could be put to death behind these bars, man. Okay, what does it say? It's in Revelations. Okay, let me just let me bring it out. It's 3. Is it 3 and 10? Which was that one where the devil shall cast some of you into prison? Bear with me. This won't take long.
2 and 10.
2 and 10. That's it, not 3 and 10. There we go. All right, so Revelations chapter 3 and verse 10, right? It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, right? We're going to suffer these things. It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Who do you think that devil is? We've been trying to tell you who the devil is, man. Check this man's actions. Check what he's done to the earth. Check how they're getting revealed in the promised land right now. They're the same people, right? Same people that came and invaded America and killed the Native Americans are the same people that are persecuting and killing the Palestinians right now. The nation of Edom, the biblical nation of Edom. This is what we're trying to get through to you. That these people are the devil, man. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So some of us are going to be, could be in an Alligator Alcatraz, man. It says that ye may be tried, tested, and ye shall have tribulation. We're going to have trouble for 10 days. It doesn't mean 10 exact days, right? Because then you just know you got to get through the 10 days and you're good. No, it ain't like that, man. It just the number 10 just represents a set period of time, right? So however long the Lord appoints your time, your persecution to be, man. But some of us are going to be cast into prison for a set period of time. It says, be thou faithful unto death. And it says unto death because some of us are going to be put to death for this gospel, man. And this is, we're brave up here, man. Us men of the Lord, you don't know what we have to endure. The things that we know that are coming, the death that's coming, the responsibility that we have, It ain't an easy thing walking this path. This is the straight gate, man. It says, be thou faithful unto death, right? So don't take his chip. Don't give in, right? Keep praising the Lord. Keep, keep doing, walking wisely in this earth, man. It says, and I will give thee a crown of life. So you'll receive victory if you're faithful unto death, because some of us might even be incinerated in those damn incinerators, man, that Esau's got set up, right? So anyway, that's that. Now I want to show you this, because they're selecting the fattest alligators for alligator Alcatraz. Check this out, man.
Now they know that.
So it says up here, they're literally selecting the biggest alligators one by one to drop in alligator Alcatraz, located in Florida Everglades, right? So this is what's going on, man, while everyone's distracted with the Diddy case, right? The diddler. And this is the conditions that they plan to have you in, right? Mosquitoes is also going to be a huge problem out there, because a lot of people never thought of this, but the suffering, the tribulation that, a lot of us are going to go through, especially the 2/3, right? Because, they're getting packed in there as we speak. But this is the sufferings that we're getting ready to face, man. Check this out.
A native Floridian who lived through an epidemic of encephalitis as a kid. Like, we couldn't even go trick or so bad. Encephalitis was so prevalent that they had to keep us indoors October the 31st. Can you imagine what it will be like in the summer months in a wetlands? It's not an enclosed building. It doesn't have a roof. It's a tent. So these people are going to inevitably get these diseases. These mosquitoes is only 45 miles away from this. How quickly do you think that these mosquito-borne illnesses are going to spread to the native population? Several of you mentioned the fact that there's no existing infrastructure, and that's 100% correct. This was just a landing strip in the middle of the Everglades. So it's going to cost that much more money to haul in supplies, to haul in water. We're in the middle of the hurricane season now, but actually in September, inevitably, when a big storm rolls through, they're going to abandon those prisoners to the elements. There's no protection from a Category 5 hurricane in a tent. And what will the federal government do? They'll ship them on a plane to another country and justify it as an evacuation. The Republicans, it's a scam.
Yeah, man. So, apparently there's a video going around, right, of this alligator Alcatraz. It got flooded, man. Apparently the place is sinking because it's on like a marshy surface or whatever. And apparently there's loads of water in there right now, which is gonna be what do you call it? It's gonna be a cesspit for mosquitoes, man. Right? Which is gonna torture the hell out of Jake in there, man. Them mosquitoes are horrible, right? So Esau's just showing his horns hard, man. And now they're coming after the Haitians. But the thing is, it's not gonna be as easy to get the Haitians like it has been with these with the Latin tribe, man. Haitians are a whole nother breed of people. You got to remember the Haitian Revolution that happened when Esau had the Haitians in captivity, man. It wasn't an easy job. They were getting slaughtered by the Haitians, man. So this is Esau just trying to get his payback. But check this out, man. All right, because Jake ain't having it when it comes to ICE trying to deport the Haitians, which they're trying it. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be successful to a certain degree. But it's just a bit more of a fight, it seems.
No, bro. Oh, no.
Listen, and this ain't on no bullshit, y'all. I had to leave out the gym in the middle of my motherfucking workout because God put this in my spirit. Black people, I need y'all to listen to me, and I need you to listen to me clearly. Trump just removed, listen, Trump just removed visa status for over 500,000 Haitians. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I know we've been saying this ain't my fight. This ain't my fight. We sitting back. We not doing anything. We chilling out. We can't sit this out. We can't sit this out. We have to stand with them. We have to fight for them. I'm going to tell you why. This right here, up until this point, Trump has been testing out a lot of shit. He's been testing out the whole bombing with the Iran situation. That's the wartime powers right there. He's been testing out getting rid of affirmative action. He's been testing out deporting black and brown people. He started with Hispanics, okay? Now, we may think like, okay, this is the Haitian community. Of course he's going to get rid of the Haitians. You know, they are black. They are us. And oftentimes, a lot of times, these ICE people, they can't decipher who's Haitian, who's not. What happens when they just label one of us Haitian? It's easy to do. We look Haitian. This is a test. If Trump can get away with the removal of our black brothers and sisters, Haitian or otherwise, African or whatever, and we do not stand up, what's going to happen when he says, let's get rid of the niggas too? What's going to happen when that order comes over the line and they start going into these black communities, raiding our communities, and start escorting us to fuck off this land into places that we don't even fucking belong? What is happening right now is he is trying to flip this whole thing so that we are literally slaves again, so that we depend on them for survival, so that we don't have opportunities like we have right now to free talk and speech and uphold democracy and shit. This is a test. We can't let them come after our Haitian brothers and sisters. I don't give a fuck what no black person tries to tell you or talk about, because this right here is a fucking test right here. And I don't know why it rose up in my spirit this way. I'm telling you, black people, listen to your spirit. God is telling us something and he's giving us signs. This right here, we can't let happen. Adel, I just saw a clip where a whole bunch of black people were standing together because ICE had raided, starting to take black people, and black people are fighting.
See, he's another one that lacks understanding, just like that Eve that I played in the beginning of this lesson, man, because he seems to think that, you know, if we can do something to stop this, man. Hey, this is the judgment of the Lord right here, man. Ain't nobody turning back these plagues. This is of the Lord, man. So if you ain't right with the Lord, hey, you're going to become a victim of this devil at some point, man. In one way, shape, or form, you're going to catch hell in this world, man. Right? But this is what's happening. They're deporting Haitians now, right? Because Haitians are the tribe of Levi. Out of the 12 tribes of Israel, they're the tribe of Levi. So, you know, Esau wants all the tribes out of his country, man. Check this one out.
Some fucking great news today. Fucking great news. So ICE decided to go to Brooklyn earlier. And they decided, you know, to go into a random neighborhood and try to play snatchies with some Haitians. Well, all I gotta say is, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Props to my Haitians. They fucking whooped ICE's ass. They took them down. They said, fuck, nah. You not doing this in my neighborhood. Get the fuck out of here. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. Us as Latinos, we need to stick together and we need to fight ICE. We need to fight. Especially if you guys are in the position to do so. If you guys are like legal here, you know, that's even more the reason. At least for me, I would say. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But once again, props to the Haitian community. Love to see that. Props to Brooklyn, New York for standing up to ICE. Share the video for awareness, my loves. This is fantastic news. Be safe out there, my loves. I love you. Great. Fantastic.
Yeah, she's excited. But you can just, you know, through all of this, you can tell that the Latin tribes are our people, man, because they have the same oppressor. You know what I mean? They're treated just as bad as us. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, this right here shows that, you know, they ain't having such an easy time with the Haitians, man. As you know, and the Haitians got fight in them, man. Like I said, look up the Haitian Revolution. Esau had a hard time with he's always had a hard time with the Haitians, man. Hence the reason why he's disabled the shit out of that country, got them living in squalor and stealing all that money that they were supposed to get from that earthquake and stuff, man. The Clintons stole all that money, man, because they got that perpetual hatred for Jake, especially the Haitians, man.
Yeah, you remember that they tried to demonize the Haitians, like maybe a year or so ago, about the eating the swans, and the birds, and capturing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Trying to demonize them.
Yeah,
and that's what he was leading into, to pile them in with that same. Oh, the migrants are the problem. They're coming over here, beating people over the head, and causing all this trouble, eating the wildlife, just to rile up the Edomites in that country, the proud ones.
Yeah.
So we need to get them out of here. So when this stuff happens, they think, oh yeah, we can just get them out of here. This is our country. Not realizing that, hey, Levi got hands, man. Levi got hands.
That's it. Right. So we're about to wrap this lesson up. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help, because you ain't getting help from these devils, man. Okay. They might give you a little Section 8, a little food stamp here and there, but they ain't doing that because they want to, right? And you can't look to them for any type of salvation, right? From what they're getting ready to do. They're about to show their horns and show you that they're the devil. They're about to prove the prophets right, the Lord right, and all the things that we've been saying that the Lord said would happen in these end times. Esau the devil has come down having great wrath because he knows he has a short time, man. This is what's happening. So it says, as for us, the Israelites, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. These people ain't helping us. This whole court system is set up against us, man. Okay, they even come out and say that, you know, that people don't get, there ain't national health care because of so-called black people, because they didn't want black people to have it, right? So they all these other people having to suffer because of the fact that he wants to spite Jake, man. So it says, in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. I think that's it on that. Nah, there's more. So, you know, this is a nation that can't save us, these Edomites, man. How's the devil going to save us from himself? He's the reason for all our problems, man. Right? So it says they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Ain't that what's happening to our people now? Hiding, can't even go to the work site, can't even go to the job site because they're scared ICE is going to get them. So you got crops rotting in the field, you got construction projects that ain't being finished because they hunt our steps. They've always done that. Esau's a cunning hunter and he's always hunted Jake, man. He says they hunt our steps that we cannot go in the streets. It says our end is near, our days are fulfilled, our end is come. See? Because this is the time of Jacob's trouble, man. And a lot of our people are getting ready to be slaughtered.
I'm going to say, you want to bring that scripture out? I was just thinking of that precept quickly. I'll just come here real quick. Jacob's trouble.
Oh, yeah. Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 37. Your mouse is tough, man. 7, there we go. Yeah, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. And this is a popular scripture, which obviously appeals to this time that we're coming into. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now the Israelites, or the he that it's referring to there, is the Israelites, the elect. Right? That's why we say you need to seek the Lord while you have that opportunity, because, you know, those ones out there that think they can go about it themselves, come together, they don't realize it's the Lord that's bringing this judgment. So if you ain't on board with the Lord, right, ain't nothing gonna save you. Ain't nothing you can do that's gonna help you through these times, man.
Yeah, because if you ain't catching hell yet, I hold that thought, you know, because your time is coming. You know, the scriptures say, right? Check this out. It's in the Apocrypha. I know that much, so we're gonna modify the search. There we go. Sirach 16 and 11. It says, if there be one stiff-necked among the people, talking about our people, which is, our people is a stiff-necked nation of people, but if you remain being stiff-necked toward the gospel, toward the truth, right? It says, if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel, it's like a miracle, if he escape unpunished, right? So the times we're coming into, man, if you escape unpunished, that's a miracle. In other words, that ain't happening, man. You're going to catch your judgment however the Lord sees fit for you to be judged as an individual. But you best believe the Lord's about to ramp it up, this judgment, very soon. All right? So it says, for mercy and wrath are with him. See? So the Lord is, you know, he's quick to show mercy, but he's also, you know, a perfect balance, man. He'll whoop your ass at the same time. You know what I mean? So it says with him, it says for mercy and wrath are with him. It says he is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure, wrath, judgment, right? So, you know, now's the time to get right before that door of the ark gets shut, man. All right. Brother's blowing up the comment board again. Right, Revelation 2 and 10. We've brought this out earlier, but we'll bring it out one more time. We're just going to bring out these last precepts before we close it out. Revelations 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, I think you just put the first part. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we brought that out earlier anyway, but that's cool. Because the devil is about to come, about to cast some of us into prison, man. Does that mean that the spiritual demon Satan is going to come up out the ground looking like a beast, looking like a monster with horns? It don't mean that, man. You got to think realistically. The devil is going to use his people, you know, his mighty ones, his ICE officers, you know, his government officials. He's going to use them to cast us into prison, man. The devil is talking about Esau, Edom. So Isaiah 13 and 10, it says the ox snuff his owner. Is it 13 and 10 or is that 1 and 3? Oh, sluck, yeah. 13 and 10. Why did I say that? So Isaiah 1 and 3, it says the ox snuff his owner and the ass his master's crib. So these dumb animals know their home. They know their master, right? It says, but Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, it says, but Israel doth not know. Because they're trapped in them whorehouses, them prison houses called Christian churches, man. They don't know who they are. It says, my people doth not consider. See? Good precept, Art. Proverbs 11 and 18, it says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work. It says, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. And that's perfect, man. Because if you're seeking after Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you ain't got to worry about getting caught up in these judgments. The only thing that could possibly happen to you is you getting thrown into prison and maybe being a martyr for this truth, which is an honorable death anyway, man, you know. But what comes after that is guaranteed salvation, guaranteed victory over the beast in his image and, you know, this system, man. So there's a reward for those that endure to the end. It says Jacob about to find out who the devil is up close and personally. They're going to find out when they're on that meat hook, right? That's true, right? Proverbs 28 and 15, it says, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. Hey, I totally forgot about that precept. That's perfect. Perfect addition to this lesson, man. Because Esau, scriptures say that he rules the nations in anger, but his anger is more focused toward our people, man. So this is how he is. So when it talks about the poor people, it's talking about us, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. We're poor in this world, but we're rich because we have the Lord, man. The Lord said, I know thy poverty, right? But thou art rich. What's that? Revelations 2 and 9, I think. And the it's the blasphemy of them that say they are the JWs and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, man. So we're poor in this world. The Lord says he knows about our poverty, but we're really rich. But anyway, that's besides the point. But the wicked, hey, he rules like a lion or a raging bear over the poor people, man. He's wicked as hell. Continual stroke, just he don't let out. He shows no mercy, so no mercy is going to be given to him, man. Did you got anything you want to bring up?
No, I think the points were made.
Yeah. All right, we're going to close it out here, man. Lord willing, you've been edified by this lesson. Thawada for the precepts, Thawada for tuning in. And on that note, man, we're going to close it out. Give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. All right, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.